Hello there, people. Sorry I've been very in and out, inconsistent with videos, but today I am reviewing Dangerous Animals. This is a movie I was planning on reviewing weeks ago, and then whenever I did see Megan 2, so I guess for now I'll give quick thoughts on that, and maybe sometime this week I'll do that. And I do want to obviously do Jurassic World Rebirth or Afterbirth, which is probably what I'm gonna call it, but I'll be doing that probably on the weekend. And then Megan 2, I might try to do. If I don't do it tomorrow, we'll do it Friday on 4th of July or in the weekend. But I have a feeling, depending on whenever Jurassic World's on the seas, I'm probably going to do that one first and then we'll do Megan later. But right now, I got to get this off my chest, man. Dangerous Animals. I remember the first trailer I saw hooked me because the premise, it was something interesting. I was like, oh, serial killer who feeds people to sharks. Okay, interesting premise. Jai Courtney, you know, isn't a bad actor. I just think he got stuck with a lot of shit. Obviously trying to make him fucking Kyle Reese in Terminator Genesis was a weird choice. He was decent as Captain Boomerang in the Suicide Squad movies. So I think he is kind of like hit and miss. Hold on, let me exit YouTube. Taco Bell's five. Sorry about that. Fucking YouTube. Sorry. Yeah, but anyway, he's very hit and miss, right? So he's very hit and miss, but I thought a role like this could be something interesting for him. Playing a serial killer who feeds people to sharks, because that's actually somewhat unique. And I was seeing a lot of reviews saying like the best shark movie in a while, best shark movie since Jaws. All you motherfuckers are lying because man, this movie was disappointing. Let's like really compartmentalize the big issues with this movie because there's a bunch of them. For one, it's a fucking, I'm just gonna say it's a bait and switch. There's no sharks. There are sharks, but he only does that feeding people to sharks thing once where it actually works. There's times he attempts it, but it doesn't. Something happens and it always gets foiled. But if we're gonna be honest, it only actually worked once. When he successfully did it, and even when he did do it, it wasn't like you got like a great shot of it, or anything like that. It was just kind of quick. And then the rest of the movie is basically an escape movie. Zafir, I think, is the main lead's name, who, in my opinion, was just very unlikable, very boring. There's nothing to her character. She goes to Australia and meets up with this guy who the writing is very weird, right? Because when they first meet, they just met and it comes off like it's a one night stand and then they plan on meeting again like later and then he gets kidnapped, right? Or she gets kidnapped. And then throughout the film they would randomly cut to him looking for her. And it's like they wrote him as the boyfriend. Like he's like her foreign boyfriend in Australia. But he's not. It's just a dude she hooked up with for one night. It's like the writing is so weird. It's like they wanted her to be him to be her boyfriend, but they didn't write him that way. They wrote him like literally, I'm not kidding you guys. He's a one night stand. He's essentially a one night stand. They met that day, they hooked up that night. But then he's all over the place. Like going to the police, trying to find her. And I'm like, if you're gonna write it like this, why not just write him as her fucking boyfriend who lives in Australia that she's out seeing? Like, it makes no sense. Like, he's doing all this effort for a girl that he just met the day before. Like, it's this weird tacked on love story that just doesn't make any sense. And then we go to Zafir. She's just not interesting. She is every like angsty surfer, tough chick fucking cliche. Like, there's nothing about her that's unique. There's no actual character outside of I'm kind of a surfer chick. She's very boring. Like her whole arc in the movie is I just got to try to escape this place. And the movie had an okay start, right? A couple goes onto this boat, and this is where you meet Jai Courtney, and he seems relatively normal. They even had like a shark cage, which that was like our only little thing to do with sharks outside of the couple stuff. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, Jai Courtney kills more people as himself, like meaning he only fed to someone of sharks once. Most of the other kills were him doing it, like when he killed the one girl's boyfriend who he ended up taking prisoner before Zafir. He killed her boyfriend by slitting his throat, and then killed like the guy who I think owned the shipyard, who obviously the reveal because the guy, I'll just call her the boyfriend, managed to get on the boat and found Zafir, but then got kidnapped, taken by I'm just gonna call him Jai Cordes. I don't really remember his name. And then the ship guy gets on the boat, takes out the dude because he thinks obviously he's just attacking Jai Courtney, but then he heard the girl screams, and then Jai Courtney kills him with like a pickaxe or some kind of weapon. And it's like he killed more people without using sharks than he did using sharks. It's insane to me. And maybe I'll do a fixing of this movie at some point. I haven't done a fixing in a while because I really think you could have made a good, interesting premise out of this. Because this is something unique. And I was telling some friends this. Jai Courtney tries. He tries to carry this movie. He tries to really play it. Like, there would be scenes of him on the boat watching, like, the videos, right? Like, he watched the video of the one girl he fed the shark to. And I guess he would have a habit of doing that, watching the video of the girls, being killed by the shark. And he takes their hair. And yeah, like he has his little killer kinks, which is like, all right. I'll give Jai that he tried, but the shark thing is it's probably the biggest disappointment of this movie because it's not a shark movie. You only see the sharks total of 3 times in this movie, and very sporadic 3 times too. Like you have the one successful kill, and then there was the kill where he tried to feed. I think he was trying to feed the dude, the boyfriend, when he got captured. Try to feed him to the shark, but a helicopter was coming, like a rescue or search copter was searching, and it was coming that way. So Jai decided, all right, we got to stop this so the cops won't get there. And then he does it again when he tries to feed the girl, Zafir, to the shark. Oh, speaking of which, the ending is one of the dumbest fucking endings ever because it literally ends or the third act. Let's just jump to the third act, where Zafir, at this point, this is probably the only really cool scene in the movie. She breaks her finger, like her thumb, and then rips it off so she's able to get out of the handcuffs, which is like, all right. She tries to escape, and that's the other thing. The amount of time they have her escape and then nearly escape. The last time was like she literally made it to the land, and he still manages to catch her. My only issue is like when he caught her, why wouldn't he have killed her at that point? At that point, I feel like they really made it's literally plot armor. And I understand to an extent movies like this are gonna have plot armor, right? Because you can't have your main character get killed. I understand that. But it got to a point I'm like, he would have killed her by that. But really, that last attempt that she nearly made it out, he would have killed her. Because it would have been like, at that point, she's a fucking headache. There's no point in you doing the whole fucking thing, like the whole ceremony of feeding her to the shark. Could just kill her and then have the dude be fed to the shark, honestly, but whatever. So, okay, so she has a finger broken off, and then she's about to be lowered into the water. And this is where we get the main great white. The issue is the great white, like, looks at her and then just swims away. Whatever reason, it didn't try to eat her. And I get it. The movie was trying to go for these aren't like movie sharks that just eat people out of nowhere. But what he would do is he'd cover them in meat, and the shark would eat the meat, including them. But she had her thumb ripped off, which there would still be blood. Yeah, it's hours later, but there'd still be a bit of blood left. And You really tell, like, it was so plot armory. I'm like, the shark just like swims past her. She gets back onto the shore or onto the boat, pushes Jai Courtney off, and then the moment he gets in the water, the shark eats him. It's so like, really, really. And the second time we only see that thing work was on him. I'm like, of course. Such a wasted premise because it was such an interesting idea. There should have been like a montage, like maybe the first, maybe 15, 20 minutes. We maybe shouldn't have even met Zafir yet. It should have been even 10 minutes, just 10 to 15 minutes should have been like a little quick montage of him kidnapping women and maybe the police. They don't even have to be characters, but like just explain that during this investigation, they found bodies all chewed up by sharks. That was such an interesting premise of him feeding these people to sharks, and you only see it once. That actually works, not counting like the time he basically got fed to the shark in the end. It's like such a waste of a premise. I think fundamentally this might be like my second worst film of the year as of now. Yeah, G20 exists, but I knew that was gonna be bad. I think right now it's Love Hurts and then this because of how expectations were. This has such a good. I'm gonna say it. The plot, the basic plot, if they didn't fuck it up, is fucking interesting. A killer feeding people to sharks. That's something different. It's a different take on a shark film. You give Jai Courtney something to work with, and it would have been interesting to see that. And then he gets Zafir, and then you make Zafir a far more interesting character. You do something like Misery, where someone being held captive and trying to escape. Those movies generally can be done well. I mean, Black Phone did it, the first one. Obviously Misery. That's another one. Like off the top of my head, or like movies where someone's held prisoner, but the prisoner is actually an interesting character. Zafir is just a bore. There's nothing to her character, but I gotta escape this boat, and that's it. And I'm a surfer chick, because she mentions it to the dude she hooks up with. And then like the forced love story that really makes no sense to be there because it's like they hooked up one night, but he's almost written like he's her boyfriend, but he's not. It's so weird, man. And then the movie just kind of abruptly ends with the rescue copter coming, and the Zafir, and then the dude who she's with is kind of just bleeding out in the chair. I don't know if we're supposed to believe he's dead because he's bleeding out pretty heavily because he had gotten stabbed earlier and he was losing a lot of blood and he was just sitting there, obviously not being medically treated for a while too. So I don't know, man. It's like they had a good idea, but whoever made the movie either didn't want to or maybe didn't even know how to really execute this plot because I just don't understand how you have a plot like this. Like I'm gonna keep reiterating, very fucking somewhat original. It would have been an interesting take on a shark film and like a serial killer kind of movie. Oh, and a captured prisoner type of movie too. If you just made the character compelling, but all of like, there's just nothing interesting about the movie, man. It was like I think I was like 30 minutes in and I was already out. I was like, okay, this is not what I thankfully. And it's unfortunate that I wanted to watch this for so long. I had to kind of wait like damn near 3 or 4 weeks after it was out till it was finally on the seas. So in that sense, I think that's why I'm not as more pissed. 'Cause I think if I had paid money, I would have been way more mad. But because I didn't necessarily pay money, you know, but it still sucks. Like I waited so long to watch this, and this is what we got. Like, ugh. How do you have such an interesting premise and then just fail to do anything with it? I think that's the real front. I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, and I will be, and I'm just gonna have to reiterate that. I am gonna repeat that point a lot. The interesting premise aspect with it's fucking squandered. And yeah, I'm gonna keep reiterating. Jai Courtney tried, man. He tried to make it work, but it just did not. So, out of 10, this movie is like the more I think about it, a 3. I think I gave it a 4, but it's a 3 now. 3.5. And I'm only giving it the 3.5 because Jai Courtney tries, but everything else is literal shit. It's don't waste your time. People who said this is the best shark movie since Jaws, like what fucking movie did you watch? I don't know if maybe you didn't go in with into this movie the same expectations I did. Maybe some people didn't even go into the movie about, wanting to see the whole shark aspect. Maybe that was just a part of it. Maybe more people are like giving it a high praise because if they're only giving it high praise just because Jai Courtney was good, I'm sorry, that's not enough because he's not that good in the movie. I'm sorry, he's just not. He's good, but it's not enough to save this whole movie. Sorry, everything else was shit. Like, yeah. So I wanted to get that out. Whenever Jurassic World goes on the seas, it should be on the seas soon. It came out today, so either later today, maybe tomorrow or Friday, whenever it's on. That's probably gonna be my next review. We'll do Megan 2 later, and I guess I can give quick thoughts on Megan 2. Go see it. The trailers did not do the movie justice. They made it seem like this movie was just gonna be an acid trip, a bunch of random shit happening, no actual plot. It's just kind of a mean movie. No, Megan 2 has a plot. There's an actual story. There's actually an aspect about AI that they're really looking into, and there's actually some good character moments, especially with Megan herself's actually really entertaining. And I honestly don't think they go into the whole meme thing like the trailer made it seem like. Even like that weird scene where that I don't know if it was a gay guy or guy in a dress try to be like, oh, we should put. I forgot what the exact line was. It was something really cringy supporting Meg. That's not even in the movie. That was just in the trailer. So they fucked up in the trailers by really making it seem like this movie was going to be a piece of shit when it really isn't. So I definitely say go see. Even if you don't go to the theater, just go see it whenever it's on the seas or something. Because I think it's worth watching. It's not nowhere near as like weird as like the trailers made it seem. So it's better than this piece of shit, Dangerous Animals. So, anyways, I guess we can get into the actual story part now. Of of fucking Dangerous Animals. Let's get into it. Subscribe to Pin Down Podcast. I think we should be going live on Saturday. I think so. Also, we should be recording something tomorrow, some point too. So look out for that whenever that's going to be uploaded. So we got some stuff coming from Pin Down, and I'll definitely, when I'm recording with Cream and Tyler, I'll try to make sure to find out if we're streaming Saturday. So, anyways, let's get into it. Sorry about that. Anyway, the movie opens up. This is where we meet Jai Courtney. He picks up this couple on a boat, seemingly taking them like on an old boat ride to see some sharks. He even tells them a story. Like he comes up like, like someone who's experienced sharks. He even tells them about like the time he got bit on the side by sharks, and I know why he appreciates them. And like, like I like that stuff, but there's nowhere near enough of it. I think this is really the only scene where you kind of get a little bit into this look why he views sharks the way he do, and kind of the big respect and why he ultimately feeds people to him. But it's so disappointing that they do not explore this more. Because the girl and the guy go into a shark cage, and obviously they want to make it seem like, oh, he's gonna lock them in there. No, no, he brings them up, and then that's where he kills the boyfriend. And at this point, obviously it goes to credits, but I'm assuming the implication is he takes the girl hostage. And it's like, once again, the opening should have been like a 10 to 15-minute montage of him taking victims and feeding them to sharks. And maybe you don't even have to have a cop character, but just cops in general investigating it. Maybe they find, maybe even like a news like paper or something, a story out there that they found a girl's body or something shoot with shark bites on it. Like something we really should have explored, because that premise is not active in the movie. At least he only successfully does it once, and then I guess if you count the end, but that's not even him. That's not even somebody else getting killed. That's him. So it only really works successful once, where he actually kills somebody else. The second time is him, because the other times are attempts, and they get other some reason he can't finish it. It's so disappointing, man. It's like such a, why do you have such a good idea and then just squander it? Because basically we just meet Zafir, and I'm sorry, she's just not an interesting character. Her Van, I think, this is where she meets. I don't even remember the dude's name. And he even says, "Oh, I'm not a serial killer," and he takes her to his car, because I think he wants her help to like kind of start his car. He does that. They start talking, and they end up hooking up that night. And I think they made plans for the next day. And when she walks home, this is where she gets kidnapped by Jai Courtney. And basically, a lot of the movie is just him holding him and the other girl hostage. She initially tries to escape. I think her initial escape, she hits him with a plate and then tries to get out, but then she ends up getting captured. And because of that, he feeds the other girl to the shark. And I'm gonna be honest, this being the only scene where we see it, it's not even that good. It's just like kind of quick, drops her in the water, and then the sharks just kind of get her. And I think they're like bull sharks or tiger sharks, the ones you see at that moment. And then while this is kind of going on, the boyfriend goes to the police and tells her, I'm just going to call him the boyfriend. It's like, it's so weird how he's trying to find her. It doesn't make any sense. And I understand, I'm not saying, okay, the initial scene of him going to the police, it's like, okay, this girl I was talking to randomly went missing. I was with her the night before, and then she's missing. We are supposed to make plans if you haven't seen her. But the way they had her, like, really actively try to find her, why wouldn't you just write her as the fucking boyfriend? Maybe he's like her born exchange student boyfriend. Like maybe, he's her Australian boyfriend. She's out there to see him. I don't know. You should have just wrote it like that. It made no sense, because it just doesn't compute like why he's doing all this for a girl he just met for a night. It's not like this is your girlfriend, and people can try to say, oh, he's just a good man. There's nothing wrong with being a good man trying to find the girl, but the way that it's written, and like, why wasn't your boyfriend then if you're just gonna write it like that anyway? So after feeding her to a shark, I think this is where I'm just gonna jump ahead, because I'm trying to remember what else. 'Cause the middle of the movie is very boring. Like, there's the initial escape. Okay, so this is where she does stab him in the neck with like a part of the bed that she like tore off, and she seemingly nearly gets out, but he manages to turn the power off the boat, and then he takes her back and locks her back up. And then I think this is the next night where the boyfriend does find the boat. He's able to actually track down the boat, gets on it, and he ends up hearing Zafir's screams. And he finds her, and then when he gets back up, because while this is all going on, Jai's kind of out doing stuff, and then he just gets back, finds the boyfriend, they scuffle for a bit, and the guy who like either owns the shipyard or owns the ship, one of the two, comes in, and all he sees is this guy attacking Jai Courtney, who at this point is his friend. He thinks this is just some random guy attacking him, so he hits him, but then the guy hears obviously a girl screams, and that's when he's like, okay, what the fuck's going on? And that's when Jai Courtney kills him. So Jai Courtney basically just kills people he basically the only real kills outside of the one shark kill. He kind of kills everybody normally with just normal weapons. I think he killed him with like he was like a pickaxe or it was some kind of rod thing that had like a blade end. Um, though there's like scenes of him watching like going back a bit, where scenes of him like watching the murder of the other girl. You know when he fed her to a shark. So and he because it seems like he would record the killings or them being fed to the shark. That should have been a whole video thing. Like there could have been a scene where Zafir finds fucking his video room and finds different videos. Like, okay, so even if you don't necessarily, this could have been another way. Even if you necessarily didn't have the physical scenes of showing him feeding those girls to sharks, you could have had her find the videos, and it's different videos, so you could have still filmed those scenes, but maybe you don't make it as elaborate because they're videos. Nah, you didn't even do that. It's like there's so many interesting ideas in here that they don't even explore at all. It's just kind of your average bad fucking escape film. And Zafir's not interesting. She's just tough fucking surfer chick who's like, that's it, man. That is all to her character. And the moment she's captured, her whole thing is get out. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? In a movie where you are captured and your purpose should be to escape. But to me, in a movie or a TV show, you have to make me care for that person escaping. Because, oh, they can care to escape within the movie, but if I don't care as a viewer, it's just at this point, it's just shit happening on the screen that I don't really care about. And that's what her scenes were to me when she would try to escape. There was no, like, investment. There was no, okay, I hope you get out, right? Like, when you watch Misery, you want James Caan to get out, right? Or fucking um like Black Phone, you want the kid to get out. And then when the moment the kid does nearly escape, you want him to. Like there was that investment of you want them to escape. There's none of that in this movie. There wasn't like I really cared if Zafir escaped or died. No. I honestly did not care either way. She just was not a compelling character. They didn't give her enough to work with to make you want to feel for her when you want to see her escape. It's just like, oh, okay, this is just the movie now. And the amount of times, like I said, she nearly escaped. So there was that time, and then the initial escape, and then the final escape, which pretty much was the closest to escaping because she pretty much makes it off the boat and gets on like a little like raft and then makes it to sea, but he's able to get her and capture her on land. And it's like at this point, I'm like, why didn't he kill her once he brought her back to the boat? Because logically, at that point, it's like, okay, this girl's a headache more than it's more a headache at this point. There's no point in keeping her alive just to do the whole ritual. At this point, I'm like, I'll just kill her. He's already been killing people without feeding them the sharks anyway. They showed that a couple of times in this movie. If anything, he's killed more people like that than the actual shark thing. Because the one time he tries to feed the boyfriend to the shark, like stabs him in the side to get the sharks to draw blood, and he's about to lower him, but then like a search copter is like on its way to that way. So and obviously search copters are gonna have cameras and lights, and basically it would have been, sorry if you're hearing a dog bark, it would have been able to spot them. So basically he decides to not do it. So once again, an attempt thwarted or basically foiled because something happened and he couldn't do it. And then the second time is towards the end when this is after he had already recaptured Zafir. She broke her thumb, or I think I think that was when she did the initial escape. Actually, never mind. I'll admit the chase part was kind of good. If I had a positive, the part where she does that second escape, this is where she did break her thumb and then broke it off. And the chase part where he's trying to get her and she's like trying to get out. I'll admit that chase was well done. That's like the only real well done scene in the whole fucking movie. And unfortunately, it was only like a 5 to 10 minute sequence out of like an hour and a half movie. So, so now recaptured. He's about to feed her to the sharks, and the boyfriend's gonna watch. And he puts her in the water. And strangely, the shark doesn't eat her. It doesn't even fucking eat her. It just kind of looks at her and then swims off. It's like, holy plot armor, Batman. Like, to an extent, I understand, in not just even these type of movies, in general movies, most movies, characters to a degree will have plot armor. We all understand that, right? But when there's this, like, to that level, it's like, why even do that scene? Why, you could have even did that differently, where the shark still tries to get her, but she finagles her way out of the cage, and she manages to get back on the boat before the shark gets her. You should have did that, because to me, there was no fucking tension at that point. Because it's like, oh, it just looks at her and then just swims off. It's like, what? And I get it. The argument I heard from some people, oh, the shark's more done realistically. It's not like a movie shark that will just eat anybody. I get that. But it, the moment Jai Courtney gets in the water, it's not like he's covered in there's like meat all over him or anything. The moment he gets in the water, he gets fucking eaten. I'm like, that's bullshit. So anticlimactic. And in the moment when the shark grabs him, like it jumps out, it looks really bad, like the CGI. And then like a boat's coming. They manage to spot a boat, and she gets his attention, and the boat's coming over there to help him, and then the movie just kind of ends. It's a very uneventful movie. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Nothing really happens. You have a good Jai Courtney performance, but that's not enough to carry this movie, honestly. The main character has plot armor. The random love story that's just forced in when it doesn't even really make any sense. Like, it doesn't. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. There's no. The love story is like very forced. It's like it has, or you're gonna have it there. Have it be her boyfriend. Just write him as her boyfriend. Have him be her boyfriend who lives in Australia that she's been dating for like a year. And this is gonna be the first time they met. And unfortunately, because she went there and she fit one of the molds of the killer, he kidnapped her. That's all it needed to be. Give her more to work with. Give us something to make it like, you know what? We want to see Zafir escape. Because there's none of that in this movie. There's none of that. Just none. I didn't care if she lived or died. She was very boring. Kind of bitchy, too. Which I don't have a problem with the bitchy part, but it was just more, she just was not a good character. There was nothing interesting about her. You didn't care if she escaped or not. And I didn't. I mean, maybe you will if you were to ever watch this movie, but I personally didn't. I had no investment in her escaping at all. I was just like, oh, whatever. It, like, man, the video, like, you have him recording these murders in the tapes. Why not do more with that? Like, okay, maybe you don't exactly do a whole scene of him feeding a bunch of people to sharks, but we could have seen videos, different videos. Maybe she goes through them and finds different videos of women being fed to sharks. And one of the times that big chasing where she's escaped, maybe he's like out for a second, incapacitated for a couple minutes, and she's managed to. You don't have to even have her go through a bunch of videos. Have it be 3 or 4 videos, just really quick scenes of people just getting chewed up by sharks. That at least that would have still been part of the movie, even if it's not in the whole film. No, we just see him watch the one video of the one kill we had already seen, and then there's 2 other attempts that aren't successful, and then basically the only other successful is basically him when he gets killed. Yeah, man, this movie is not good. I don't recommend it at all. Just watch like Deep Blue Sea or something if you just want a fun shark movie. Don't watch this shit. And maybe watch Jai Courtney scenes on YouTube. Maybe do that, but you don't need to watch this movie as a whole. It's a giant waste of time, wasted premise, such a good idea, and they don't even do anything with it at all. It doesn't even live up to the premise at all, in my opinion. Might as well just have this be generic capture movie. Killer captures victim movie, and they have to try to escape. That's really all it is for majority of it. So, what a waste. 3.5 out of 10. Fuck this movie. Definitely the second worst of the year. I mean, just because of how wasted of a premise and a good idea we could have had something with this movie. You could have maybe had the next best shark movie since Jaws, especially because it's something. It would have been something different with a shark film. Someone actually feeding people to sharks. The the only other movie that's something similar, but it was also really bad, was Shark Night. That came out in 2011. So that was also really fucking bad, by the way. So this and that are very alike in that sense. Both had good, interesting ideas. Both were fucking shit. So, yeah. Anyway, other than that, guys, like I said, I'm gonna review whenever Jurassic World's on the seas. I'm gonna review that. Oh, that new John Cena movie with Idris Elba's out too. I may review that. I'll see how I feel about it. If I'm very like mid about it, I probably will just focus on doing the Jurassic video and maybe in the Jurassic video do like a mini review of Heads of State. But if it's actually really entertaining or even really bad where I can still make a video out of it, we'll do a whole video on it. But yeah, so that'll be maybe sometime. But definitely the Jurassic World one should be. I'm gunning for that to be the next video. So I don't know when that'll be. I don't know if it'll be if it's somehow uploaded to if it's somehow on the seas tonight. Maybe I'll try to do the video maybe same time. Maybe if I don't do the Jurassic World video, if it's on the seas tonight, maybe I'll try to do it tonight. If not, some point tomorrow, like maybe tomorrow evening, we'll do it. But yet, either way, that's gonna be the next video for sure. Is Jurassic World Rebirth or Afterbirth, whatever you want to call it. So, anyways, subscribe to Pin Down Podcast. Yeah, guys, that should be it. And that, guys, cheers. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later.